So I am here in the front. We get a break in the weather and it'll probably be over the summer. We actually have to level out this area of the brick and then slightly pitch and feather edge down at a kind of a lowish slope so that we could get an even transition into the front door. The front doors started to do some restoration on that, so that door has been pulled, but we're going to flip the swing around so the door has to swing out. And hard to notice here, but the door is about maybe 42 inches wide, but it'll swing out to an area about here, and then we'll be out to the steps here. So what we have to do is extend the steps out this way to have enough area as the door swings out, and this whole area has to be a level transition because we do have accessible entrance off of our parking lot, and actually comes around the side from the parking lot from the north and the west, under the covered porch, across the veranda, and into the front door. So that's how we're getting access to the front door. Things are in various levels of progress. This is the new windows installed. These have been all stripped. That's the original transom, and some of that's been rebuilt. You can start to see there's just primer on the original transom windows, and those need glazing putty redone on the top sections, but all the new windows are in place. It's really nice that we have a aluminum flashing on the sill, and so there's a lot of sanding, finishing, and caulking that still needs to be done on some of the trim, and we had a high gloss paint, but we'll hit it with a satin finish, and that's going to look really sharp. You also get a glimpse at the side door. That's going to be restored as well. We probably will go with a black finish on all that trim, and the door high gloss finish, as well as all the trim on the building is going to go to a darker color and get a much needed update. So that's 312 East Armory in the winter in January. We've also hired an arborist who's going to come in and take the tree and take a lot of the dead limbs out, and we're going to give this old magnificent tree a shot in the arm by doing a lot of trimming out of the dead wood. And then we're also going to come in and do air spade treatment around the base of the tree. So that's coming pretty soon, but it's really hard to get a sense of the scale of the base of this tree. It's at least 6 feet, 7 feet in diameter. It's heaving the sign over, so we're dealing with that as well. But things are starting to shape up here. Siding and trim is finally been delivered to the lumber yard, so as soon as they get a break in the weather, they'll be out on the outside of the building. But today was about -1. So here we have the coffers that we put on the ceiling back about 15 years ago. And so we had to pull these off because we didn't have any plaster or drywall in the living room ceiling. And so this has all been pulled down, and this will all end up with new drywall. And then we're going to do 2 layers of 1/2-inch drywall, and then we'll end up with the coffers going back onto the ceiling, and then we'll be all fire rated. We're actually doing that over here, and then also in the alcove. So that's what's happening there. Doing the window trim box extensions, so getting that all dialed in. This is a newly sanded existing sill, and then this is an amended piece of new material that's been added on right here. So these are the new windows. Might be hard to see here, but that's all coming together. So little bits and pieces get pinned in, and then the cap trim will go back on here all the way down. We'll take a look in a few minutes. We got all these boxes happening quickly, so take a look in a minute. Hey, good morning, brothers. I'm standing in front of a newly trimmed out and finished window. So we were looking at this yesterday, and so we've got all our little jam extensions here, and an original cap piece of molding, and then this horizontal piece is an original piece. So you'll see the new window inset with a jam extension both sides, top and bottom sill extension. This is the original sill, all sanded and ready to go, and then this apron piece here. So we're in a position now that this window is 100% finished, and so this is what all of the windows are going to look like on the first floor. So right now they're trimming out the west side windows, and then they have the window next to it in the alcove, and then all the way at the north end is the dining room. So that one gets done. Turn this down a little bit, give that a rest, and then these are the flanking windows next to the fireplace. And so, you know, these look pretty rough, and when you pull these things apart, that's kind of what happens. They are a little rough behind the walls, but after the blocking and insulation and everything is put in, it really looks nice and finished, like that first one I just showed. We are going to pull this fireplace apart and restore a bunch of the missing, I call them missing teeth. So there's just a lot of little bits and pieces that have gotten loose over the years, and this is a little sloped, so we'll pull that apart and reset all of that. Hard to see down at the threshold, but all that kind of ugly brick has been removed out of the fireplace. We're gonna put some new mosaic tile down on the hearth, and we have the other fireplace in the alcove. We're gonna do the same thing. And our fireplace irons actually look a little dismantled, but they're in good shape, and we will try to get some of that fire brick tuck pointed. Also got the front door, the old front door here, so that's going to end up getting rebuilt. Most of the stiles on each side will be all new, but then we'll keep this headpiece, and surprisingly that door will come together really well with a lot of glue and a lot of new wood. So actually our local resource for red oak has been really good, high quality Ripson oak, which has a slightly tighter grain to it than a regular like rotary cut or plain slice style of oak. So most of what we have in the building has these tighter rings on the oak, so it's a much higher quality, better cut of wood. Yeah, so I gotta head back to Chicago. It's about 9:30 in the morning, so I got other things to get to, but it's been fun coming down here every week, checking the progress. Things are looking kind of dirty right now, you know, with the ceilings removed, but things are moving along, and it's looking really good. All right, talk to you guys.